Thank you. Welcome. Welcome to Leadership Speak, an Advanced Toastmasters Club for leadership development. We are one of the top 5 clubs globally. My name is Yosli Joseph, your sergeant at arms for today's meeting. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Leadership Speak is a premier club for experienced Toastmasters to become better self-directed leaders. We are an advanced club focused primarily on leadership development in everything we do. Our timer has a virtual hand raised so we all can immediately see who is keeping the time. Our Toastmaster of the day for today's meeting is no one else than our dear Lydiah Wanjiku. Lydiah is a resources professional and director at Maisha HR Consulting. She is passionate about building inclusive workplace with a strong focus on DEI, women empowerment, and youth development. Through Maisha HR Consulting, she helps organizations create cultures where people strive and potential is unlocked. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome our Toastmaster of the day, Lydiah Wanjiku. Dear Toastmaster of the day, the lead is yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Yusli, our SAA, for that warm welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're joining us from. Welcome to Leadership Speak. I'm honored to be your Toastmaster for the day today and during this special meeting. Our meeting today is unique as we are celebrating cultural diversity. The global celebration took place on 21st May 2026, and who knows what was the theme? Any guess on what was the theme? You can unmute and say something. The theme, anyone? 2, 1. The theme of the, okay, go ahead.
Celebrating cultural diversity.
Thank you. Culture connects us. That was the theme. Before we dive into our meeting, I want to speak to our most important people in this meeting. Those are our guests. If you are a guest, you are the most important person in this meeting and feel welcome. Please do us one favor. A member of our committee in Leadership Speak is going to post the visitors book with the registration link. Please feel free and register. Let us know who you are and how we can help you in this leadership journey. If you can, we shall appreciate it if you stay until the end. Then we can have a chance to hear from you. Where are you from? What is your culture? And be able to even learn more from you. And feel free to have the background of your culture. And also feel free also to post on the chat where you're coming from and the culture. Because we are going to celebrate and we are going to learn more because our theme today is celebrating culture. Great leadership grows when people learn from perspectives beyond their own. And this one, you will realize that people are from different cultures. When you look at Leadership Speak, we have 19 countries, and you're looking forward to growing more and more. I will give you a quote where Maya Angelou said that in diversity, there is beauty and there is strength. In this room, we understand the beauty part of it. We have the variety of different cultures. We've heard stories from many Toastmasters. So this quote packs a huge concept into the 8 words. And these sentences are, we are concentrating with the beauty. This is about perspective and creativity. And the strength is about resilience and capability. So this is reminding us that diversity is not just nice, polite concept to talk about. It is a functional superpower. It makes community more interesting to look at, and also we are able to learn from one another. And in Leadership Speak, beauty translates to cognitive diversity and innovation. When leaders collaborate, that is the beauty of diversity. And there is strength, that is resilience and strategy advantage. In Leadership Speak, this means resilience and risk mitigation, because as a team in Leadership Speak, we value the culture and your authenticity. I'm challenging you today to actively disrupt your comfort zone. Seek out the unfamiliar, mentor yourself, and mentor someone else. Listen to a story that challenges you. And today, you're going to hear a lot from different cultures. Let us not just tolerate our differences, let us leverage them, because when we intentionally weave every unique thread into our leadership fabric, we don't just build more beautiful club, but we make them better and better clubs. So, as we dive in this meeting, first, I would like to call our toast to give us Toastmaster. Who is going to give us the toast today is Toastmaster Jyothi Thomas. Jyothi Thomas, before you give us the toast, please say hello to us in your mother tongue.
Vanakkam.
Again,
Vanakkam.
thank you very much, and over to you.
Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster. Fellow leaders, self-directed leaders, distinguished guests from across the globe. Look at the community right here. Our theme today is celebrating cultural diversity. What a privilege it is to celebrate it with all of you. If someone looked at Leadership Speak meeting from the outside, they would see people from different countries, cultures, profession. What they won't see is what connects us. One of the joys I have discovered here is that while our clocks may disagree, our purpose never changes. While some of us are beginning our day, others are preparing to end it. We are gathered here with a common purpose: to learn, to grow, to connect. This is something very special, especially here at Leadership Speak. In many ways, we are like a global potluck Each of us arrive here carrying something unique, something special. A different story, a different perspective, a different tradition, a different way of seeing the world. And just like the best meal, the richness comes not from one flavor, but from many. Imagine a world where everybody sounded the same, everything looked the same. Life would be boring, terribly boring. So, in our world, with all the different languages, traditions, experiences, we strengthen this club. When we embrace diversity with openness, something extraordinary happens. We do not lose our individuality, we strengthen our humanity. And that is the essence of leadership, not standing alone. Let us choose curiosity over judgment, understanding over assumptions, and inclusion over division. Now, may I request all of you, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters and leaders, kindly unmute your microphones. Turn on your video cameras. Raise that glass nice and high. Repeat after me. Here's to cultural diversity.
Here's to
Cultural
diversity.
Ici à la diversité culturelle.
Over to Madam Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Jyothi. Now, we are now going to a very exciting segment, that is the panel discussion. And before I invite our distinguished Toastmasters, Guerdah, together with the panel members who are experts in this cultural diversity, let me remind our guests to register in the visitors book, which again, it will be reposted. Thank you very much. It has already been reposted. I would like to invite the evaluator of our moderator, and our evaluator is Toastmaster Mamadou. Toastmaster Mamadou, welcome. And before, this is what Toastmaster Mamadou said. He said it's gold, different cultures, perspectives, experiences, and background enrich conversation, decision making, and innovation. That is what Mamadou said about cultural diversity. Toastmaster Mamadou, could you kindly say hello to us in your mother tongue?
Domreke.
Domreke. Thank you very much. Go ahead and tell us what our distinguished Toastmaster Guerdah will be speaking about.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the Day, Lydiah, and Domreke once again. So, DTM Guerdah Felix speech title, which is Celebrate Cultural Diversity. The purpose of the speech of the project is for Guerdah to apply her skills as a public speaker and leader to facilitate the panel discussion, which will be from 20 to 30 minutes. Guerdah has requested that I pay attention to how she leads the conversation. Following a certain criteria, she wanted me to see if it's professional and it flows easily. So back to you, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Mamadou. Let us now welcome our distinguished Toastmaster, Guerdah Felix. And she is a connector, an active listener, a visionary and spirit-led communicator, a DEI, that is Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Facilitator, and a distinguished Toastmaster. At some point in her life, Guerdah was a host for people of diverse nationalities. Her expertise lays in spiritual life coaching. Fellow Toastmasters, and our welcomed guests, please help me welcome the multi-talented visionary, our panel host for this event, DTM Guerdah. Felix, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests. Greetings. Bonjour. Hola. Annyeonghaseyo. Different language to say good morning. Guten Morgen. This event is an opportunity to listen, learn, connect, and celebrate the richness that different cultures bring into our communities, workplaces, friendships, and everyday lives. Culture shapes the way we see the world. It influences our values, traditions, communication, food, music, family dynamics, and even the stories we carry. And while our experiences may be different, gatherings like this reminds us that our shared humanity is often greater than our differences. This morning, we are honored to hear from 4 incredible panelists who bring unique perspectives, experiences, and voices to this conversation. My hope is that we gain knowledge, but that we also leave with deeper understanding, greater empathy, and renewed appreciation for the beauty of diversity around us. Whether you are here to learn, reflect, celebrate, or simply listen with an open heart, thank you for being part of this important conversation. Let's begin by welcoming our panelists. And today, we are joined first by Melanie Tadeo, whom I met online during the pandemic. Since then, we worked on many big projects, including writing a book together. Melanie is also a DEI specialist, a go-getter, a planner. From an Italo-Canadian culture, please welcome Melanie Tadeo.
Thanks for having me, Guerdah.
Next is Jyothi Thomas, whom I met here at Leadership Speak. Jyothi is also a creator of big projects and a connector. Jyothi moves in big spaces and is also well known in her community. From India, please welcome Jyothi Thomas.
Thank you, Guerdah, for having me. Hello, all.
Nicole White, whom I also met here at Leadership Speak. Nicole is an observer, almost detective-like, who gathers evidence. Excellence is one of her highest values, and faith. Originally from Jamaica, please welcome Nicole White.
Greetings, good morning. Wagwan.
Wagwan. And we have our club growth director, present club growth director, and program quality director-elect. I met Bill in person 2 years ago. What I recognized instantly was his ability to easily connect with people. When he shared that he lived in Montreal, that he spoke French, everything made sense. Please help me welcome Bill Kirby.
Merci, Guerdah, et bienvenue à tout le monde.
Merci, Bill.
Good morning, everybody.
Thank you all for being here. Let's start by getting to know each of you a little bit better. I have said certain things about you, but please introduce yourself and share one thing about your culture or background that you are especially proud of. I will start with you, Bill.
Oh, my goodness. There's my first filler word of the day. I come from Montreal originally, which is a very diverse place, but also Quebec being the French language center of Canada, language is extremely important and an emotional subject in Quebec. Having had the grace and the opportunity to live in many other places, and now very close to Toronto, which happens to be the most culturally diverse city in the world, I have had the opportunity to explore and understand with an open mind all the things that make us individually special, and realized that I'm not any more special than anybody else. I come to all of this with an open mind and curiosity. And the thing that I believe makes my culture as French Canadian unique is the embracing of our language, which is not unique all by itself, but that mixture of language and food and good times is what makes us special. And I'm very proud to be French Canadian.
Thank you, Bill. It does indeed makes us special. Thank you. Now I will move on to Nicole. Please introduce yourself and share one thing about your culture or background that you are especially proud of.
Thank you, Guerdah. I am originally from Jamaica. I've been living in Canada for the past almost 7 years, actually. I've been a Toastmaster for 6 years, and I'm an HR professional and educator, a people connector. I enjoy and breathe living, using my God-given gifts to make humanity a better place. And something I'm very proud of about my culture. Oh gosh, it's so huge, but I'll keep it small. We, in our dialect, because our first language is English, that's our standard language, right? English language. However, we do speak broken English, which you call patois, or some derive from Creole. We are small, but we are mighty and resilient. I'm extremely proud about that. So in my patois, we usually say, we little, but we talawa. That I'm proud of. Back to you.
Thank you, Nicole. And now moving on to Melanie. Melanie, please introduce yourself and share one thing about your culture or background that you are especially proud of.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. My name is Melanie Tadeo, and yes, my background, I'm part Italian and part Canadian, but I'm also married to an amazing African man. So I have a wide range of diversity that comes into the cultural aspect of my life. And I think the one thing that ties all of these cultures together is family, the love of family, the importance of putting our family first, and making sure that every family member feels heard, seen, and valued just as they are. Thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you, Melanie. And Jyothi, it's your turn to introduce yourself.
Thank you very much, Guerdah. You just said my name, which means light in the Indian language. And when I said Vanakkam, it means good day, you and me and you. Well, I come from the southern part of India called Chennai, which was then Madras. I moved to Canada in the early 1980s. As a young bride, married to an Indian, of course, life was always yo-yoing. Chennai is the hub of technology, education, temples, and diversity. And that's where my roots are. And I think living in Canada has been a great experience for me. Thank you. That's briefly about me. Oh, I didn't say I am a social entrepreneur. I enjoy doing huge projects. I'll come to that later. Thank you. Back to you. Good.
Thank you, Jyothi. And now I will ask the second question, and to you, what is one tradition, celebration, food, or even value from your culture that instantly feels like home to you?
Tradition, culture. Thank you for that question, because we say unity in diversity, and the food is what comes first. The tradition of every celebration. We never did it just for our home. The entire street would get treated to it. We would go door to door giving the goodies made. That's one tradition that has helped me be adaptable no matter where I am. Something which shocks me, if that's a tradition, is I still haven't gotten used to it, is using the credit card. In India, we always think if you don't have the money, you don't spend it. So the credit card was a big no-no, and I still can't get out of it. That's something about me. And the place I come from, Guerdah.
Thank you, Jyothi. And now to you, Melanie. What is one tradition, celebration, food, or value from your culture that instantly feels like home to you?
For me, I'm going to go with the Italian culture for this one. Christmas Eve is a huge celebration for the Italian side of our family. We gather together as family, friends, and people in the community for a festival of fish. And it's endless food, endless wine, endless conversation and celebration. Of course, ended off with midnight mass. This is an opportunity for us all to come together to speak about the year that we've had, to be grateful and thankful for all that we've been given, but also to bless the year coming forward. This opportunity reminds me, even as a child, going and being a part of, dressing up in fancy clothes, being with people that you love, that you can be authentically yourself, and learning from our elders about stories from the past. It was an opportunity for us to celebrate over food and wine, but yet also coming together to learn and celebrate each other's accomplishments and understandings of past experiences. Thank you.
Thank you, Melanie. And now I'll go with Bill.
There we go. Similar to Melanie, in French Canadian culture, we have on Christmas Eve a thing called a réveillon. And the réveillon is, again, about friends and family and food and drink and conversation. But what we do is go from home to home to home, collecting people and making the party bigger, so that once we get to the last home, which is usually the eldest in the family, grandparent or great-grandparent, and then heading to mass, or depending, maybe the mass came to us because we were the community, that there was meat pies called tourtière, which is usually made with venison or moose or deer and pork and beef, salads and homemade wine, which is not as good as some of the store-bought wine that we can get now. But that spells home to me. And I've tried to bring that tradition with me no matter where I've lived, and not just at Christmas, but going from home to home to home and collecting our friends and making something special and new traditions. And that spells home to me.
Thank you, Bill. Nicole.
Oh, there I go. I may stay on mute. For me, Jamaica's culture is so rich and vibrant. I'm going to use our Jamaica independence, and there's a reason behind it. So we are an independent nation since 1962, and every single year from then we have our celebration, we go all out, and that's like built up over the months leading up to August 6th, which is the day we commemorate our independence. And because our culture is so vibrant, rich with music and folklore and and various facets, we culminate the last day at our national stadium, where we have a big celebration all day, right back till the night. So different crafts and arts and talents are shared. It's just a warm feeling, talking about inclusion and diversity. That's where everything comes out. We experience that. So I know what it is about blending different talents and cultures, because we are a multifaceted nation where our motto is out of many one people. And the reason I use independence, which is big for us, and yeah, somebody's writing John Kudo, and I could go on, like it's because it's deeper rooted too, adapted from our African culture too. So the reason I use Jamaican independence is now I'm living in Canada, and I'm super happy that, to answer the question, how do I feel like I'm home? I'm connected to my culture. I'm glad that I'm in a diverse country, because Canada several times has paid homage to our country by lighting. They have illuminated Niagara Falls in the black, green, and gold of the Jamaican flag. They have done that maybe about 3 times. I could be wrong, and that's amazing. So Jamaicans will go to Niagara Falls, and we'll see the falls illuminated to represent our flags. And the first one, I believe it was when we commemorate Jamaica's 60th anniversary. That was our Diamond Jubilee a few years ago. So of course, I feel like I'm home. I feel like I'm not missing out. And I could go on about other experience that I've had in Canada, or have in Canada here, that I feel like I am home.
Thank you. Thank you, Nicole. And one thing I want to share with you, I am originally from Haiti. And for me, in my culture, one thing that makes me automatically feel at home is the sound. You know, when I was living in Haiti, when we were coming back from school, and we hear all the students, we all learning out, because we had to learn. So we were learning for the next day, and we learn in songs. As we come home, we hear people say, la grammaire française est l'ensemble des règles pour parler le français. And you hear this in everywhere. So for me, the sound always brings me back to Haiti. The songs, the music, the connection, because we celebrate a lot. The community brings me back to Haiti. So that makes me feel automatically at home. We also know that culture often influences not just traditions, but the way we experience the world and connect with others. So now the question is, how has your cultural identity shaped you and who you are today? How has your cultural identity shaped who you are today? I will go with Melanie.
I think I'm going to speak to this from 2 perspectives: how it has shaped me in a negative way and how it's shaped me in a positive way. Growing up as a young Italian girl, it was my responsibility to get married at a young age and have lots of bambinos. And I would take care of my husband and the house and all of that fun stuff. However, at the age of 21, when I suffered a stroke and left me completely blind and partially paralyzed, that wasn't necessarily in the cards for me. And there was a lot of whispering and a lot of people saying that I wasn't going to be able to be that proper Italian woman. And that really put a lot of pressure on me. So for a first part of my life, I was feeling less than, not part of the culture. However, I quickly learned that also in the Italian culture, it's about strength, about resilience, and that helped me move forward with my family, who's Italian, encouraging me to fight like the Italian stallion, to ensure that no matter what I faced, the belief systems that perhaps didn't fit me or society or the obstacles or adversity in my life, to keep fighting and be strong and be proud of who I had become. So yes, culture shapes us in negative and positive ways. I guess it's just what we take from that culture. And I am definitely proud to be Italian.
Thank you, Melanie. Jyothi?
How did my culture shape me? I think being an Indian, that's taught me adaptability. And I grew up seeing large joint families, and I was part of it too. So when I moved to Canada, I was all of 24. It wasn't difficult because I'm used to seeing people around. And at that point in time, this was a place where I was able to move in because I worked with different people. Working, living with a large group and being around people, that was something which very easily I could identify being part of another culture. It wasn't really different at that time for me. I grew up always appreciating the environment, respected people, had to be very polite. And I think that's what kept me steadfast and that truly kept me going with any culture and much more Canada where I moved in. So I think that should be the one which I would say stands out the most.
Thank you, Jyothi. Bill?
I have to stop moving my cursor. I'll never find that unmute button. How I was influenced. Well, I guess like Melanie, there were good things and there were bad things, or I guess not bad, shocking to me. Growing up in the Montreal area, I actually grew up in a very small town outside of Montreal. Everybody looked the same. Everybody acted the same. Everybody had an upper middle class lifestyle. And my exposure to cultural diversity was really television. And it wasn't until I experienced the city, the big city, Montreal, for the first time that I got to see so many different people and things and behaviors and attitudes and musics that it really opened my eyes that the whole world was not like me. And there are two reactions that come from that. There are people who's like, no, it has to be like me. And we sort of go inward. And I had the reaction where now I'm curious, I'm extroverted, I'm gregarious. So I went and explored that and got the opportunity, created opportunities for myself to taste these different cultures, not just the food, but the experience. And I found that there is a tremendous richness in that. And I don't know if it'll come up later on when we've talked about privilege, that I come from in Western culture, the place of privilege. And when you're living it, you don't realize it until you start to see what other people are living and how they experience the world. And to see things like that through their eyes has really shaped me. So I would say the first part of my life, up until I was late teens, early 20s, that I saw the world very, very differently than I do today. And today that I find, all of our diversity is the richness that we have to share with each other. And the commonality, which is far greater, are the desires to come together, the desires to eat and sing and laugh and be part of something greater than ourselves. And that's how I approach it today.
Thank you, Bill. And we will come back to what you said, privilege, a little bit later. Nicole, how has your cultural identity shaped who you are today?
Well, for me, cultural diversity, from my roots, Jamaica. When I think, let me say, resilience and resourcefulness, those two I'm going to go with. A culture of resilience. I look at how I am today now. How do I live bold and brave and big? It's rooted from my culture because that's what I grew up around. That's what Jamaica represents. As I said earlier, out of many one people. It's an ultimate testament of cultural diversity. I drew from African, Indian, Chinese, European, Middle Eastern heritages, and they all blend together to fortify the person I am today. Resourcefulness, that's us. We have a saying to say, turn your hand and make fashion. I mean, in other words, use what you have and make the best. And that's how I'm cultivated, and that's what I embody. And it has to do with the culture, the resilience of the people, right? And when I think about leadership and how I've stepped into leadership roles, and I look back and say, oh, my mom would have infiltrated me with the things that she experienced from her mom, which is pushing me out there to be that leader. I remember like tender age of maybe 11, 12, she taught me how to take the bus to go to a particular business place to conduct business with a note in the bag, and I have to go there to lobby for my mom, you know. I'm talking about that resilience and that push and the boldness to step out. That's just an example of most or all of Jamaica's upbringing or people's behavior. And when we talk about the resilience, even recently, unfortunately, where we experienced a hurricane last year, and people are looking on social media and they're saying, how are they happy? How are they smiling? How are they? So you know, they said you take the lemon and you make lemonade or whatnot. So you see the people, it's the warmth and the vibrancy, and it has shaped me even in my career, my personal life, my spiritual growth, where I push and I constantly move forward and see beyond the problem. But instead, I try to look at to say, oh, what's the solution and how can I happily embrace this and push forward. So those are some of the things that I would say my culture has helped shape the person I am today.
Thank you, Nicole. I think that's what I recognize instantly in you, because your background is similar than mine, because in Haiti, we are also resilient people. And I recognize this in you instantly. I couldn't put a name to it, but definitely that is that. I totally hear what you just said. Now, I want to go back to the privilege part, because, you know, we hear this a lot, especially in our society here, you know, that people are privileged or you're acting out of privilege. And it seems like it's only one-sided. So today I want to ask this question, and this is to all of us. As I am asking our panelists, I want everybody to think about that. How is it that you culture, what privilege did are you getting or did you get from your own culture? And what I mean by privilege is that there is something that you do naturally that perhaps you take for granted, and you believe that it is this way everywhere. And that's why we call it a privilege, because you don't have to question it. So what is it in your culture that has brought to you a certain privilege? I will start with Jyothi.
Well, interesting. Privilege. I think we've discussed this some time back. I've always considered myself privileged here in India and in Canada, because when we moved there in the 1980s, it was truly a privilege because we came in through entrepreneur visa, which was very high those days. Privileged because I never saw, there are many differences I see now which I never saw then. I truly felt privileged. We were there everywhere, no difference shown. Privilege for me was as long as you had the money. You could walk in, do whatever. But here, what is the privilege I see in India is the kind of educational institutions you go to, the kind of places you visit, traveling across the world. And what I presumed and didn't realize was when I went to Canada to see the privilege of the schools, that most of it was free. Here we need to pay. The privilege in Canada, which I felt, was the dole system. Here in India, we always work, and that we think is a privilege because as you age, also you work. We don't get anything for nothing. So I think privilege for any immigrant, for anybody of different countries, it's interestingly different because I see it also in my own home. I call my home as the United Colors of Benetton. I have every nationality, so many languages, and that's the best part of this. That's the privilege I see as of now, that before we could never even think of seeing somebody else in your home, and we have now gone to that part where we see everybody in our own household. But the privilege, which I would like to end by saying, what I saw as a privilege back in the 1980s or 90 in Canada, I don't see it now. And here we are privileged because there's a very clear demarcation of the money power and the people connect. So I think that's what privilege means to me.
Thank you, Jyothi. And now Melanie.
It's interesting because I think as a young girl growing up in Canada, I really didn't understand what privilege was. It was just what was the norm, having access to education, opportunities, and a family that encouraged leadership and encouraged opportunities to be entrepreneurial. And it wasn't until I became an adult and after losing my eyesight that I really truly understood what privilege was. When you visit other countries and you see what it makes them so unique and diverse and loving, and you see what we take for granted here in Canada as our rights, it's really heartbreaking, to be honest. And so now I can definitely say here in Canada, and as a white woman, I have great privilege and compared to places across the globe that I've visited. However, I also think that when you are given these opportunities and we embrace them to do our very best to become the leaders that we are meant to be and share what we have with others, not from a place of privilege, but a place of opportunity and curiosity to learn from one another across the globe, privilege can really share opportunities for people across the globe.
Thank you, Melanie. And now I will go with Nicole and then end with Bill. Nicole?
Sure. I feel like privilege is still relative. So I never look deep to say that like I'm comparing so much so to say, oh, now I'm living in Canada, which is considered a first world country, wealthier and all of that. And what I had compared to what I have now, or what I see compared to what I may see a shortfall here and there in where I grew up in Jamaica. Because I feel so privileged when I think about my experience. I think about since we're talking about culture and how I was brought up with to think about respect was a big thing, and it still is for my culture, my country. And I feel like that's a big privilege, that's a value that was engraved in me, and I still live it out. I feel that's a privilege because which I said I didn't want to do compare. When I think about what I see in this side of the world, how people like treat each other, or the lack of or shortfall of respect, or just simple mannerism, we didn't look deep into that. I didn't look deep growing up. It was just natural experience. Going to the school, on the bus, interacting with people in the store. It's like, it's a big thing. It's a gold. Respect, right? Human sensitivity, sharing, the warmth, some areas, we have different subcultures in Jamaica. And when you think about like in the rural area, you don't have to know your neighbor to get some sugar. But I can't go next door in my apartment and get some sugar right now. No, and whether or not it's that warm and the warmth and the camaraderie and the care and the love, that's privilege. And yes, I live in a diverse country. And Toronto, as Bill had mentioned, is true, the most diverse city. I live here. However, I still feel like, listen, man, I'm queen. I'm from a privileged country. I am privileged because of what we experience and what we value. And that's respect for all.
Thank you. Thank you, Nicole. Bill, it's your turn.
Wow. Privilege is a really, really big topic. We are bombarded with information from our next door neighbor, the United States, who culturally are very different than Canada. There are some big similarities too, but culturally they're very different how they treat people. And so I've heard from Jyothi and I've heard from Melanie and Nicole that and yourself about the privileges that you feel you have, and they're absolutely true, especially because you perceive them. And privilege, I believe, it can be a good thing in terms of the opportunities that it presents an individual person to grow and expand their life experience. Where privilege becomes a negative, and this is what we hear a lot about, I suppose, particularly in Canada, when privilege becomes a negative and you're holding someone else down because of your own status. And, fortunately or unfortunately, I represent a demographic that for the last 500 or 600 years hasn't been the nicest and has held many people down for gender and ability and ethnicity and language and. So for someone from my perspective, it becomes a question of accountability, and that I am accountable coming from a place of the greatest perceived privilege. Not that people don't experience various things in their life, but taking the opportunity not just to enhance my own life experience, but that of others, and saying that privilege can be shared. And I think everybody said that in one way or another, but that it's a responsibility that we all have. And this is where I think it gets really hard, is that groups of society that have been oppressed identify the privilege of the group that held them down. Sorry, I got to keep my gestures on screen. Is where it gets difficult, and say, well, and this may sound awful, and I don't mean it to. A reason becomes an excuse when we don't do anything about it. And doing something about the idea of privilege, or the fact of privilege, is a responsibility on both sides, right? Those who have it and those who feel held down by it. In my life, I've had a great many privileges, and I think the greatest privilege is the feeling that I walk through life and there isn't really anything in my way except for me. And I know that not everybody feels that way. I honestly, I feel like I can go anywhere, do anything, be anything. And I'm not the richest person in the world. But that's what privilege is to me. It's like there are no barriers.
Yes.
And
absolutely.
I believe that true privilege is that there should be no barriers for anyone. But often, going back to what I just said, is that, do we get in our own way? And these things are certainly more difficult to overcome in various places. Do we feel part of what's going on? Are we conspicuous? All of these things. And it's part of it is brought on by money. Part of it is brought on by education or social standing. Part of it is brought on by our desire to include others in what we do. But when we go somewhere, we automatically gravitate to people who are similar to us because there's going to be some empathy and understanding in that group and saying, well, did you feel this? Because I felt it. And, there's safety and strength in members.
Yeah.
There are very natural things that happen. But, well, the idea of privilege is so hard. And when someone says to me, you can't understand because you're privileged, I said, well, I may not physically understand the experience, but I can be empathetic.
Mm-hmm.
And if you tell me your story, maybe I can help you see another way, or maybe I can show you a path where you too can have privilege.
Well said, Bill. Well said. And I know we could continue this conversation and we would be here for a long time and go even deeper and that's what I wanted us to do this morning, to start with who we are and understand from a depth that as we see the world, someone may see it differently. And the word privilege is something that we have to be very mindful of as we see that we have reached the red light. So our time came to an end. I want first to thank you, all the panelists, and also you here, the audience who's been here with us. I think we have perhaps time to do question and answers from our audience. Let me know if that's not the case. But we've heard stories of identity, resilience, tradition, belonging, and connection. And we were reminded today that cultural diversity is not simply acknowledging differences. It is also about valuing them. It is about creating spaces where people feel respected, understood, and empowered to bring their full selves into the world. Every culture carries wisdom, every voice carries value, and every conversation like this one has the power to build stronger community. So again, to our panelists, thank you for your honesty, vulnerability, and insight. And to everyone here, thank you for listening, engaging, and being willing to learn from one another. If there are any questions, please let us know. Do we have any questions? Oh, I see we have hands up. From Pacific Wanda, what is your name?
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Pacific. I'm currently from, I'm a Ghanaian by nationality. Let me say that I'm a dancer. That's why you can see my background. You can see people in the dressing code, the culture dressing code. I would like to ask a question about xenophobia. How can we use culture diversification as a tool to bring humanity, unity, peace in the world? Because in the countries like South Africa, you know what's happening there. I would like to ask you to speak about that. How can we use culture diversification as a tool to bring unity, peace in the world? Thank you so much.
Thank you. Who would like to take this on? Okay, Bill, go ahead. Thank you.
I'll be brave. Pacifica, that's a very, very big question. And I've often wondered about it myself. I think that it was said earlier on that, we as communities have foods and cultures and language and music and family. And although these things make us different, a tortilla meat pie is different than chicken biryani or tamarind balls or something like that. But it's the food that brings us together and gives us the opportunity to sit down and talk and enjoy and understand and care. So the things that make us different also make us the same if we take the time to look at it. I think we're all more similar than we are different. And if we start to look at it that way, it might begin to help.
Thank you, Bill. Would anyone else want to take that on?
I would. I'd like to say we need to start to celebrate differences and to learn from people's unique perspectives. I know from doing work in South Africa, yes, there's different genders, there's different backgrounds and races, and different abilities. And a lot of people think that it's ones are better than the other. But if everyone shared their perspective, and really, of course, we have to understand the background and the history of any country and understand their perspectives and belief systems. But really, by getting to know people for who they actually are and their gifts, talents, and abilities, and having a conversation and celebrating everybody's different perspectives, we then will become more open to accepting people for just who they are, not for what we are told we should believe and not for what we had from the past, even though that impacts us, but really learning from one another. I think that will help us get past xenophobia.
Thank you, Melanie. And thank you, Pacific, for the question. Oh, Jyothi, go ahead.
Well, thank you very much, Pacific, for that question. When you asked that, I think all of us feel that, and you mentioned it. So when we talk about humanity, we will look at empathy, right? We all want peace. We all want that humanity, sense of understanding. But where are we starting is what we always think. And I think with so many things going around us, listening and like what Melanie mentioned about understanding each other, it's truly important. And that does come from our culture. Now, when I talk about Canada, we do practice it. Easier said than done. There are challenges across the different cultures in each place. But I personally think if each one of us can do something when we are with a group, let them feel not just like they are connected, but also belong, that's when I think humanity will truly take off. And I think we are privileged that we're able to even discuss this on this session right now. So that's briefly what I think, but that's a very deep question, though. You've woken up a lot of our thoughts. Thank you.
Absolutely. And thank you, Jyothi. And I'll go to Nicole. But first, I wanted to say, if we look at one another with curiosity and be mindful to listen to one another, I think that will definitely change a lot of things. As you come to me and I come to you, I am curious about the person that you are and what you experience and what you have to say. That's already half of the battle. Nicole. And then after that, I will go to Helen because I see Helen has her hands up. Nicole, go ahead.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely great question. And even for me, rooted growing up in Jamaica, it's an experience I mentioned earlier. So I learned from early that diversity isn't just a current or modern corporate or community buzzword or checklist or a checkbox, right? It's a foundational truth. And that the truth, if we come back to that truth, we see the strength that holds us together, right? For the future, sorry about that. Just 1 second. Sorry about that. So yeah, so I would just say my thing is it is my hope, sincere hope, that we all be intentional about growth. We also stay rooted and grounded in empathy, and just keep in mind that when we value humanity, the humanity in one another, we will build stronger teams, stronger communities, and we'll have a better world, to answer the question. Yeah.
Thank you. And thank you, Pacific, for asking the questions. question. I will go to Helen now. Helen.
Yeah, thank you very much for this opportunity to ask my question. Nowadays, there are many people, especially young people or students, move from a place to other place. For example, move from a country, their country, yeah, to other country to study, to work. And I would like to ask all of you, what advice do you have for people who feel homesick or how to adapt to other country, to other culture after moving to other country or a new place? Yeah, that is my question. Thank you.
Thank you. I will take that on. And before I ask other people to take that on, I was a host for people from different countries as they come to Canada. And I would be paired with someone from another country. My role was to make sure to be with them as they first come in, to show them for example, for me, it's in London, what is London about? To answer the questions that they have, to sit with them to understand their cultures so that we can link with the culture of Canada to make it a smooth, welcoming into the country. I also know, because I have nieces and nephews who have gone elsewhere to study, make sure that you can find a community of like-minded people who will lead you on, meaning they will make it easier for you to be in that country. They will make it easier for you to be in that university, because they have in universities nowadays, I know they have international group. That's a good place to start, because then you have people from all over the world and you will definitely find people who are like-minded. That's my answer, but who else would like to take this on? Okay, I see Bill, go ahead.
Just because I like to talk, Guerdah, but I think you hit the nail on the head. It's about support, right? Often these young people are coming from wherever, another city, another country, maybe a very different part of the world, and coming to a university somewhere else. And having that support from people who are interested in their well-being, which is family, new friends, support systems in the educational institution, because we can't forget that these are young people who maybe have not had any kind of experience of this type ever in their life. So having that support is very, very important, because it keeps them engaged and it keeps them mentally sound, not the anxiety and the depression or the fear of being away from home, or what if I get into trouble and I don't have help? I mean, these are scary things for most people, but particularly when we're young and doing this for the very first time. Beyond that, keep a curious, open mind and don't lose yourself in what's going on. Like Guerdah, I've had the opportunity to meet many young people who have visited from other countries for school or an exchange program, and they sometimes lose themselves in what's all of the distractions that can happen. And again, that comes back to the support to pull you back to what your focus and purpose on this trip truly are. The harder part is actually going home, because I've heard from almost 100% of these people that I've stayed in touch with is that when you go back home, you're not the same person anymore. And that the culture that you came from is still a part of you, but now you're more. And you don't fit the same way that you did before. So these things are really hard. And I think that we don't have those conversations with our young people before they go away. and prepare them for the experience they're going to have and the experience they're going to have when they come back. I hope that helps.
Thank you, Bill. And unfortunately, I know we've been having a lot of fun together, having this conversation, but our time is up. Our time is up. And now I would like, again, thank you to our panelists. Thank you to our audience. I hope that this conversation has opened your heart and your mind in the way going forward into this world, because after all, we are the world. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you very much, panel moderator and fellow panelists. Really appreciate this time. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, our panel members. And the question on Q&A, we had allocated 20 minutes. I don't know whether we finished the 20 minutes so that we don't lock anyone out. Thank you, thank you. We are so enlightened, and we are very grateful, distinguished Toastmaster Guerdah. That was very insightful. Together with your team, Melanie, Nicole, Bill, and Jyothi, they have taken so many nuggets. What about you, members? Can we just applaud them? Can we just celebrate them for having given us the knowledge? Can we just clap for them? They've done an amazing job. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Now, before we move to the next segment, I'd like to talk again to our guests. How are you faring on? Are you excited? Have you gotten some tips when we had the panel discussion about privileges? At times they can be negative. I didn't know that, but when I reflected, I saw they can have some negatives. And you're supposed to make use of what you have. Thank you very much. So our guests, we value feedback. We appreciate your authentic feedback. In Leadership Speak, we do not sugarcoat. We give the real feedback, and I request the guest book to be posted. So thank you very much so that you can fill the guest book. Now let us adjust ourselves as we take a virtual flight. We are going to tour to the 19 countries that are represented in Leadership Speak. And who is going to be our pilot today? Let me check. Our pilot today is Eric Opong. And Eric Opong is a conversation starter, storyteller, and a teacher. He's a freelance interpreter, that is French to English, English to French, with the United Nations and other international firms and NGOs. He is also an event host MC and loves to make events move from good to great. And this one I saw when you had the TCON in Rwanda. In this new season of life, he is working on becoming a world-class host, applying and praying to fulfill his dream of working as a communication coach at Manchester United, telling stories, writing and performing poetry, and inspiring people to greatness, all while being a great father and all-round wonderful being. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome our Toastmaster, Eric Opong, all the way from Kenya. Welcome. And this is what Eric said about diversity and culture. Eric said, cultural diversity is the spice that gives life its flavor. Welcome. The stage is yours, Eric.
Much appreciated, Madam Toastmaster of the evening. I pray you can hear me. Please confirm.
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Thank you. Fellow speakers, members of Leadership Speak, Toastmasters from all over the world, thank you for this opportunity. We will take a brief virtual tour of all the countries that are represented in this group through a screen share that I will ask the club president Holmstein to help me with. A thread of what we find in our different countries will be shared with you, and we can discover what are the wonders and marvels that exist beyond our own borders. Trevor Noah says travel is the antidote to ignorance because it teaches you that the world is bigger than yourself. And today, I hope Club President Holmes, as he shares his screen, we will get to see the artistry that is in the world. Where do we start off? We start off in Bill's land, where you see totem poles that are carved by the indigenous First Nations in the Pacific Northwest. We all know that totems serve both to keep our history and never to be worshipped as idols, but they do help us to be in touch with most important segments and records that our history holds. Once we're done with Bill's country, where do we go next, Mr. President? We go to Jyothi's country, India. And here you discover a 4,000-year-old technique of making metal art using lost works non-ferrous metal, found by communities based in the central and eastern part of the country, depicting deities, local folklore, dances, and animals in the jungle. Once we have departed Jyothi's country, where is our next stop? Nigeria, elegant country in the western tip of the African continent. You find these clay masterpieces dating back to 1500 BC, used in spiritual activities, and they also represent divinity. As much as some of them are found in mines, they have intricate and unique hairstyles, and they are decorated and ornated with jewelry and other forms of artistic expression. After we've had our coffee in Nigeria, we go further down east to Kenya, the land of wonder, and we meet an art form called soapstone carving. It is done by hand by a community called the Gusii in the western part of the country, used to symbolize family unity, domestic life, and also spiritual connection with nature. Its most famous artist even had a carving at the United Nations headquarters in New York. After the eastern part of Africa, where do you go next? Let's see. To the United States of America, among the Navajo peoples, where they have a form of sand painting. Yes, you heard it right, painting in the sun, used as a form of healing rituals to keep away evil spirits and to maintain cosmic balance. These paintings are created on sand and then they are swept away within 24 hours. Once the Navajos have welcomed us, it's time to get on our jet and go back to Southern Africa in Namibia, where you see carvings from the Makalani palm tree. It is a strong type of palm tree that local communities in the northern part of the country use to carve out paintings and sculptures like the one you see on your screen. The intricate designs of animals, they can also celebrate part of the nation's biodiversity. After a Makalani carving, we go to Europe, and here we find a form of needlecraft from a village called Lefkara in Cyprus. They are representations of family pride, status in the community, and hospitality. It is even said that Da Vinci used part of it in one of his famous paintings, The Last Supper. On to the next one. We go to the economic diplomatic capital of Europe. I know, but let's go to Switzerland. You have these wood carvings that are near level human in artistry. From the village of Brins, they like to describe the rustic feel of rural Switzerland, where you find bears like the one on your screen. I'm sure the bear will not give you a bear hug, but I can. After we've moved from Switzerland, where to? The United Arab Emirates. And where we find a form of textile technology used by the Bedouins called al-sadu. It's household textiles that takes different geometrical patterns, just as you have seen the one on screen, representing desert landscapes, starry horizons, and tribal signatures. After we've built this desert nation with al-sadu, we come back to Africa in the eastern tip, and here we see a depiction of unity. Jamaa is a Swahili word meaning communalism or socialism. And this work of art is from the community called the Makonde, carved out of a piece of hardwood called mpingo. But despite its origins, the image itself communicates the importance of unity, that what you do has an impact on whoever else looks at you or admires you, because they do. So we live our lives because they impact others around us. After this unity from Tanzania, we proceed further west, where we meet a form of glass artistry called souverain. Souverain is a corruption of the French word souvert, meaning on the glass. It's a form of glass painting that tells vivid stories, and it was originally used to distribute Islamic spiritual imagery under colonial rule, but now it is used as a form of graphic storytelling. After we've seen such great paintings on glass, we go to the southern tip, the Rainbow Nation, where we meet the Ndebeles, a community that's residing in South Africa and Zimbabwe. The geometric paintings in the house are a form of maintaining and safeguarding cultural identity and passing on knowledge from mothers to daughters, as well as celebrating milestones. What else do we have in store, Mr. President? We go to Angola, and you see this traditional fabric that is worn by the peoples of the Republic of Angola called the samakaka. A contrast of geometric shapes, and each color is picked to perfection and artistry on special days for people to celebrate their language, their regions, their status, and their cultural symbols. After Angola, what do we have for you, ladies and gentlemen? Mexico. Aside from what you watch in Netflix, Mexico is a land of culture, and here you have the alebrijes, art sculptures that depict a chimera, a part animal, part spirit. As you can see here, you have a lion with eagle wings and a lizard's tail. And here, the alebrijes have their own spiritual significance to the people of the Republic of Mexico, and they are geometrically enchanting. After we've seen what is of Mexican delight, where to next? The land that has become the world's factory, China. We know it for its Great Wall. We know it for its technology, especially electric vehicles, but they also have porcelain technology from its ceramics. As you can see, the blue and white, it's exquisite, dating over 1,700 years, and it's applied to the two dynasties, the Ming and Qing dynasties of yore. Further details to be shared, as this presentation will also be made available to you from the authorities. Thank you, Mr. President. We will now go into the last slide, where we learn from American choreographer Twyla Tharp, who said, "Art is the only way to turn away without leaving home." Oh, Mr. President is bringing that back. I think we can move on to the next activity. And the next activity is a Kahoot session. A Kahoot session is simply us going to play a game. I'd like you to confirm you can see my screen. We will go to the website, www.kahoot.it, or once you are in the website, you then enter this pin to join this game. 9419804. Go to the website kahoot.it and then you will enter the game pin 9419804. Once we get a critical mass, there are 38 of us. Once we get 20 people joining in, we will get to start. I see Khan has joined us. Thank you for being the first. Keep on. I see Test. Well, I hope you won't put us to the test. Nice nicknames over here. I see Iris. I think it's from Buenos Aires. Pacifique. Très bien. Merci. Thank you for joining us. Treble. Oh, treble. Nellie Jane. Bill is in the house. Verona. I see Lou. We have 10 people already. Holmes has also joined. We have 11 participants in the room. Rashmi is with us. 8 more to go, then I will start the game. Those who will join later will follow through. I hope we all join and have a very interactive session. 5 really engaging questions that await you. And trust me, you will love each of it. It's going to be both it's not a mind game, it's going to be awe-inspiring. Irfan is in the room, Vinod is in the room. Lovely. 6 more to go, and then we start what is going to be a lovely game. Oh my. I will now get us on to our Kahoot. And let's see what our topic is. Capital, or is it? 3, 2, go! Question number 1. The weather in this capital is windy. Which capital are we talking about? Is it Chicago, Windhoek, Comoros, or Kampala? 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's see, the answers are in, and the correct answer is Windhoek, the capital city of Namibia. It was a wordplay on the name windy and weather. Let's see what we have next. So on the scoreboard, we have Lou in first place. Everyone else is doing their best. As all leaders, we have a chance in the remaining questions. Question number 2. They call it the City of Lights. Would you tell us which one it is? Is it Budapest, Cairo, Paris, or London? 14, 13 seconds, 11, 10 seconds to go. And 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Indeed, 8 of you got it right. The City of Lights, La Ville Lumière, is Paris, the capital city of France. Our scoreboard still puts, wow, Bill has made a huge leap. Verona in second place, IG in third, Usli in fourth. Vinod completes our top 5. Third question of the night. Nicosia residents are amazing people. Where is Nicosia found? Is it Croatia? Is it Montenegro? Is it Russia? Or is it Cyprus? 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. 7 of you got it right. Indeed, Nicosia is the capital city of Cyprus. Let us see how our scoreboard looks. Verona, wow, from 5th and to 1st. Vinod is in 2nd place. Lou comes back in 3rd. Treble 4th, and Rashmi joins our top 5. Question 4. Which city in the world has an apple in its nickname? Is it Paris? Is it Sydney? Is it New York? Or is it Lagos? The photo has nothing to do with the answer. I just like Steve Jobs. Is it Paris, New York, Sydney, or Lagos? And the Big Apple, 7 of you got it right, is New York. What fruit do you have in your capital city's nickname? Please share in chat. And our scoreboard is, as you see, Verona keeping strong in 1st place, Vinod in 2nd, Guebre moves to third, Rashmi moves to fourth, and Bill joins the top 5. Last question of this round. Tuck, tuck, tuck was made first and then heaven is a quote from Mark Twain. Which country was he referring to? Japan, Mauritius, Madagascar, or Maldives? Which country was made first and then heaven, according to Mark Twain? And the answer, 3 of you got it right, is Mauritius. Mauritius was made first and then heaven. For those of you who are yet to visit the island nation of Mauritius, this is your opportunity. On the podium, we have in third place, Vinod. Applause for Vinod. Thank you for participating. In second place, we have Lou. And in first, ladies and gentlemen, drum rolls, we have Verona. Thank you all for joining in. Thank you for participating. As always, it's been lovely having you. Let's celebrate cultural diversity because culture is the spice that makes life beautiful. Back to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Toastmaster. Eric, you really enjoyed. Let us clap for him. You've taken us around, you've done the Kahoot, and congratulations to the winner. Now we are going now to our last segment, that is for the prepared speeches. And we have 3 speakers. Our first speaker is Hannah Schmidt, and Hannah Schmidt will be evaluated by Toastmaster Hmok. Toastmaster Hmok, please, would you kindly welcome and tell us what DTM Hannah Schmidt will be talking about?
Thank you, TMOD. Our speaker, Hannah, today will present Pathways Presentation Mastery Level 3 Projects Connect with your audience, and the speech lasts 5 to 7 minutes. And the purpose of this project is for the member to practice the skills needed to connect with unfamiliar audience. And through her message, through her speech, she aims to inspire greater respect, harmony, and appreciation for diversity as a strength that enriches and connects people rather than divides them. Back to you, TMOD.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Helen. Our DTM Hannah Schmidt will be giving us a speech on a tapestry of culture. A tapestry of culture. Hannah Schmidt, over to you.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Imagine 4 people living within 1 square kilometer. That is the land of the wide open spaces, my Namibia. Yet, despite its low population density, the country boasts a remarkable diversity of cultures and languages. These wide open spaces give us the opportunity to exchange our culture and be united. Goeiemorgen, guten Morgen, Walapo, Matisa, Tumela. Good morning, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and members and guests. Namibia teaches me a powerful lesson. 13 different cultures live side by side, preserving their unique language, their tradition, and identity while building one nation together. Our diversity is celebrated. It strengthens our communities widens our perspectives and shows us that unity does not mean being the same. It is our differences that make Namibia stronger, richer, and more vibrant. This is the Namibia I cherish, and I am familiar with. The Ovambo, Herero, Damara, and Nama communities and the Namibians of Afrikaans, German, English, and other backgrounds each contribute uniquely to our shared identity. Our clothing, music, dances, food, stories may vary, but collectively they form the vibrant rhythm of a nation enhanced by its diversity. This is why I see the diversity, or this tapestry of cultures, not as a challenge, but our strength. True unity does not require us to look, sound, or have the same background. Instead, it involved respecting, learning from, and celebrating what makes each community unique. Since 2020, these cultural boundaries have expanded to include the device area of cultures. During our online Toastmaster meetings, participants log in from various countries, speak with different accents, and uphold different traditions. However, as soon as the meeting starts, we come together as a single community. Namibia provides us with a powerful example. Different cultures can coexist while preserving their unique identities. Just as this diversity strengthens the country, the variety of cultures within leadership speak enhances our learning experience. Our leadership speak background proudly displays 19 different flags, as shown earlier on in that beautiful video, symbolizing the cultural diversity represented within our meetings. Each flag tells a story of identity. We heard that all about, thank you. Heritage, language, experience, and perspective. They remind us that although we come from different parts of the world, we share one single purpose: to learn, to grow, and support one another. In Namibia, our diversity does not divide us. It enriches us. And the same is true in Toastmasters and especially within leadership speak. Each culture, perspective, and life experience enriches our meetings with depth, color, and a variety. One member might foster confidence through bravery, the other one through compassion, and yet another through perseverance. Varied accents, stories, backgrounds serve as a learning opportunity instead of obstacles to connections. When this tapestry of cultures is combined, we respect and shared purpose. It becomes a source of strength, allowing us to live in harmony. Fellow Toastmasters, much like the blanket's tapestry keeps us warm, the tapestry of cultures surrounds us with understanding, strength, and a sense of belonging, highlighting that our differences are not flaws, but threads that unite us. Therefore, I say, see you later. Kwaheri. Auf Wiedersehen. Alvida. Mbaraba. Kwari. Rini. Or just say bye-bye. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Hannah, that was very, very insightful. A tapestry of cultures. You really took us to Namibia. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. Now we are going to our second speaker. Our second speaker is Toastmaster Kanav Hurria. And Kanav will be evaluated by Toastmaster Aries. Let me welcome Toastmaster Aries to tell us more about the speech for Toastmaster Kanav. Let me welcome Toastmaster Aries.
Hello, Toastmasters, distinguished guests, and friends. Let me introduce our next speaker, who comes with a long experience in speaking. He's going to speak from the pathway of persuasive influence. And he will give us established story, a story about his life, or a fictional tale of the speaker's own creation. Without any further ado, Kanav, back to you, Master of the Day.
Thank you, thank you, thank you very much for that introduction and the details. Now, our Toastmaster Kanav will be speaking about polarity. Polarity, Toastmaster Kanav, over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Lydiah. I am from India, and India is a place of polarity with one pole at one side and one pole at the other. It has a place which is extremely cold. We are shivering, and it has a place which is saying what is cold. We have different traditions, we have different culture, but we are united. We might be having different things we speak. There are so many languages that are spoken in India. There are 1,206 official newspaper in which different languages are there. So there are so many languages that are spoken. We keep on growing despite that. We grow. How? Let me tell you. We are the people who just don't stop. We start by giving an example of Bollywood. And to me, specifically telling about India, it would be a little difficult to speak in English. And apart from Bollywood, Bollywood is famous for its songs. So let me tell you a few songs which are in different languages, which are different. First is Jai Ho Shankara, Adi Dev Shankara, Tere जाप के बिना चले ये सांस किस तरह. This means, Hail, Almighty, the first God. Without your presence, how will our breath go? This is a song which Bollywood proudly made to tell the journey to Kedarnath. Kedarnath is one of the principal state we go to to take our blessing, and it is Almighty. So the beautiful place where we see our gods, and it is really good. Our second is, so that's Kedarnath for you. Second is, which talks about in Delhi, which was shot in Delhi. Name, song goes like this. Kun faya kun faya kun, जब कहीं पे कुछ नहीं थी नहीं था वही था वही था वही था. So this is a song which tells, let be it, when there was nothing, he was there. It's from Nizamuddin from Delhi, and you can go there and just, it is followed by Muslims, and we go there and we just take our prayers there as well. So Kedarnath is one of them, and come to our second is Nizamuddin. But our Bollywood has taken its liberty of characterizing or more humanizing our freedom fighters. In one way, it was done by the third song, which is a harder tune for me to catch, but I will try. ओ शेरा उठ जरा फिर वही जलवा दिखा अपना, बड़ी बेताब है दुनिया तेरी परवाज देखण नू. This means, O Shera, O Sher, O lion, wake up, show your glory. Badi betab hai duniya. The world is eager to see you stay. To stay that you show your glory. These were the three songs which are of different languages. This was a Punjabi song. We are divided, as I already said, we are divided by language as well. First was a song of Hindu culture. Second was of Muslim culture. Third was a Punjabi song. But we are not divided that much. We are united by one song. Whenever it's a celebration, 15th August, our Independence Day, or 26th January, the Republic Day, we are proud to sing songs like this. ऐ वतन मेरे वतन आबाद रहे तू, ऐ वतन मेरे वतन आबाद रहे तू, मैं जहाँ रहूं यहाँ रहूं मुझे याद रहे तू. Which means, oh my country, stay prosperous. Wherever I live, I remember you. It's the objective of being prosperous. We may be divided by languages, but when it comes, we are all united. When it's come to our country, we are all united. And that's what India is for you. That's it from my side. Back to our Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Kanav. And indeed, we are all united. Polarity. Now, from India, we want now to take a flight to Kenya. Our third speaker is distinguished Toastmaster Nellie Ayodo. Nellie Ayodo will be evaluated by Toastmaster Paramjit. Toastmaster Paramjit, could you kindly tell us about the speech of Nellie, Toastmaster, distinguished Toastmaster Nellie Ayodo? Over to you, Toastmaster Paramjit.
Yeah, thank you very much, Toastmaster Lydiah, Toastmaster of the Day. Toastmaster Nellie is doing a project from her motivational strategies pathway, and the project is focused on the positive. And the purpose of this project is for the member to practice being aware of his or her thoughts and feelings, as well as the impact of his or her responses on others. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share his or her experience completing the project. Best wishes for DTM Nellie Ayodo. Over to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Paramjit. Distinguished Toastmaster Nellie Ayodo. Nellie Ayodo will be talking about my Kenya, my country, my home. Please help me welcome distinguished Toastmaster Nellie Ayodo. Kenya, my country, my home. Over to you.
Jambo. Greetings from the great country of East Africa, Kenya. Kenyans, we are 60 different linguistic groups in Kenya, but we are bound by two things: language and the closeness that we have. We all speak either English or Swahili or both. Kenya is a country of hard-working individuals. I'm sure around you, you have a Kenyan working very hard. They thrive where they go. I'll give an example of our incoming president, Bram. He's settled in Canada. He's thriving there, coaching us to be public speakers. Kenya has wonderful climate. This climate enables us to see wonders. Let me talk about Kenyan individuals. Kenyan, we are known for running. Our high altitude enables us to run. Have I told you that a Kenyan is the fastest marathon runner? Under 2 hours? Sebastian Sawe is the only Kenyan who was able to do that recently. We're gender sensitive too. Ruth Chepngetich holds the marathon record for ladies in the world. We are grateful for our climate. It has enabled us to do wonders. Everywhere you go, you find a Kenyan, or you hear about Kenyans. We have several Olympians. Let me mention Eliud Kipchoge. He's our peacemaker, and he uses running to make peace. He's also the only person who is licensed to jog in Nairobi City without visitors. He recently was jogging in the city with President Macron. Kenyans were very friendly people. I haven't even mentioned our safaris. Let me mention our safaris. We have lions, the buffalo, the leopard. And Nairobi is the only city where you have a national park. It's the only place where you can leave work and go to the park for a game drive while you wait for the traffic to subside. Within the park, there is also an orphanage. You can pass time in the orphanage, and also there are restaurants. You can have a sip of Dolman's coffee. Did I mention that Kenyan coffee is one of the best in the world? Ladies and gentlemen, I can go on and on about Kenya. My country, the country that I really, really love. But let me tell you about one spectacular incident that happens in Kenya. The wildebeest migration that happens in the Mara. When the animals, about 1 million animals coming from Tanzania, they're crossing the Mara River. You should come and see this. It's really a spectacle. First of all, the crossing of the river is drama. The river Mara is infested by crocodiles. And the wildebeest and the zebras have to psych themselves to cross this water. They all gang up and they communicate and they say, we must go at once. If you do not cross in a group, if you don't collaborate, you'll be eaten by the crocodiles. So the spectacle is you seeing the zebras and the wildebeest all running to cross the river, avoiding the crocodiles. The Lone Ranger will be eaten by the crocodiles. Ladies and gentlemen, I can go on and on about Kenya, our beautiful climate, our wildlife, our runners, and our hard-working people. In Kenya, we're trying to promote being one country. We are one country, one people. And we thrive by just collaborating with each other. I'd like to tell you all what I've learned from all these experiences is that I have to be hardworking wherever I'm put. I have to thrive. We have to be grateful for our weather and make use of it by having our safaris. We welcome all our visitors to come into Kenya. When are you coming to Nairobi or to Kenya? Asante. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Nellie, taking us through what is happening in Kenya. And indeed, you are all welcome to come to Kenya. Now, in our meeting today, it is unique because the evaluators are not going to give the evaluation. They will give the evaluation on the chat. Because today we are celebrating cultural diversity. And our timer, please post your report on the chat. Let me welcome our president to say hello to the guests as they share the fact about their culture. Now it is the time to hear from our guests. Welcome, our President home.
Thank you so much, TMOD Lydiah. Before that, we do have a special segment that was actually meant before the chapter meeting, but due to some technical difficulties, I have moved it to this particular portion. I'd like to invite Pacific to share some of his cultures and also the videos they are ready. Pacific, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. Greetings, y'all. As my name says, my name is Pacific. Pacific means peaceful. I'm a Guerdah by nationality, and I'm a dancer. I use dance as a tool to preserve culture, share stories, as well as therapy. And I have a company, a dance company, that is like a bridge where vulnerable youth in my community where they come and practice these dances. So today I'm honored to share one of our videos we've been able to shoot in order to share with you what we do. Let me invite Mr. President to share the videos. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much, Pacific, for preparing all these videos, these dances for us.
Thank you so much. My pleasure.
Thank you so much. Members and guests, in the spirit of celebrating cultural diversity, I would like to call upon some of you all to speak. When you are speaking, I encourage you, if you have something prepared which is visual, you can also look for something right now. Talk about something that excites you about your own culture. Let's see. Sai Krishna, are you available? Sai Krishna. Sibyl Tatsidi, Seble. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Sibyl, are you available?
Yes, I am. Good day, good evening, everyone.
Hello, hello. Did I pronounce your name correctly? How do I pronounce your name?
Exactly almost the same. That's Sebil. You're right.
Sabo, thank you so much for being here. Is it convenient for you to turn on your camera, by the way?
Okay.
Only
Here
if
I
it's
am.
convenient? Okay. Let me also
Everything
spotlight. Hello, hello. How are you?
good. How are you, everyone? How's everything? I am so excited to be part of today's session. It is very interesting, and then I really like the panelists and their opinions on the cultural diversity. I'm so happy to be here.
Where are you from, and what's one thing you love about your own culture?
I am from East Africa, Ethiopia, and I am one of the very diversified country in the world. We have 85 ethnic groups here in Ethiopia, and the diversity that we have is so beautiful. Diversity is beauty here, and we have lots of culture with integrated one. We are one. We really seems like one nation, even if we have 85 ethnic groups, and the respect and the relationship we had makes me very happy, and it is really a nice way of living as a one nation in 85 ethnic groups. That makes me so impressive and very happy to be part of that ethnicity too. Back to you.
Thank you so much. It's wonderful to hear about your own culture. Thank you so much. Do continue to come and visit us anytime you're available. Let's see.
I will do. This is a very interesting session, and I like every part of it. And hope I will have a time for you. And by the time, whenever I have a time, I will join the future too.
Wonderful, wonderful, Zebo. Wonderful.
All right, back to you. Thank you
Thank
for
you so
having
much.
me.
Marie N, are you available, Marie? Marie N.
Yes.
Oh, there's some echo. You may need to switch off the speaker of your other device.
We have one device.
Oh, you only have one device. Let me see. Why don't you try again? Try speaking. You're muted now. Oh, I know what's happening. You're using one device as speaker and one device for your camera. Try saying something again, Marie. One moment. Both of your
Hello?
devices.
Can you hear me? Recording in progress.
There's quite a bit of echo going on.
Yeah.
Let's see. You can hear me. The sound is a bit difficult on your side, but can I invite you to type something in the chat? Share with us where you're from. Share with us one thing that you love. I see the very exciting photo that you have prepared in the background. Please share something about it in the chat. Thank you so much, Mary. It's so lovely to have you here. Thank you. Lynn Durad, are you available? Lynn? I also like to call upon some of our members who have also prepared their backgrounds. Members, please turn on your camera so I can see your backgrounds. Let's have Paramjit. Hello, Paramjit. Share with us what's in your background.
My background is changing every time. It's a video now I made from that.
Wonderful.
This is the you will see it will be changing. Yeah.
Paramjit, share with us the thinking as you put together all these photos that you have. Enlighten us.
Okay. Highlight is already there. Okay. Just let me see. Okay. So this is a traditional Indian marriage, a Sikh marriage. I'm talking about Punjab, where you have a holy book, and around the holy book you are taken. This is called Bhangra and Gidda. Very high performance dance, high pitch dance. You can see even the person who is beating the drum. Just see he's putting his holding it with his teeth and singing. And this is our traditional, colorful tradition, using different colors and very high valor and high. I will say that high pitched dramas are there. The drama. These are ladies dance. That was gents. This is called Gidda. This is also like, just you can imagine the ladies moving in a circle and doing it, and the colorful dresses with golden, what I say, dupattas. And this is particularly our old Sikh tradition of fighters. They are using it for, there's a competition among them, like horse racing, kart racing. This all is still, and this is my food, Indian food. This is paneer makhni, and you have a jalebi, and you have paneer, makki ki roti and saag. This is something little different, and this is a normal Punjabi traditional dress which we generally wear when we are. I can't tie that type of turban because I am not prepared to. I have never been practiced it. I thought of doing it but couldn't do it. And this is normal our dress which people. And this is the type of traditional Punjabi shoes. The boys and girls shoes. I have only one. All are ladies. That is my wife's shoes. I only had got one, the black one on the top. And we have rich fields. We are producing one of the topmost wheat producer in the world, as well as sunflower, and hardworking people working in the fields. So I thought of making one video, and this is the marriage. Okay, it started from there, and you can see the traditional dress they wear when they are having, and you have to sit on the horse. But when I got married, I didn't sit on the horse because I don't want to kill the horse. That's why I went into the car only. But most of the people, they sit on the horse. I love wildlife, so I don't want to trouble them. Thank you very much. Over to you, Toastmaster Holmes.
Thank you, Paramji. It seems like you will be outdoing most of us here with your video photo montage that you have prepared and sitting as a video there. Thank you so much, Paramji. It's lovely to hear about your culture from you. Let's call upon some other members. Let's see. Our Zoom master, yes, who has been working very hard behind the scenes. Share with us about your culture.
Oh, okay. Our culture. So I will say that it's a heritage of many, but an identity of one. So the Philippines is a living collections of culture. So if you look at my background, where it is here, the other side. So if you look at my background, there will churches. So the old churches and the colonial buildings remind us of the Spanish colonization for more than 300 years. So most of our names, the festivals or traditions came from Spain. And then the modern buildings came from the American influence, as well as our love for basketball and the education system. We also have our Chinese influence over our foods from siopao, the siomai, and then other things. And then we have Muslim influences from Muslim countries too, we are colonized from them. And then, yep. So overall, we are a heritage of many, but we have an identity of one as a Filipino.
Thank you so much, Nellie. Let's hear from Helene. Hi, Helene. Share something about the beautiful picture you have chosen behind you.
Thank you, Holmes, for this opportunity. I will share with you this picture. As you can see, this is the flag of my country, Vietnam, because I was born in Vietnam. Even while I'm living in Mexico, but I was born in Vietnam. And this is the national animal of Vietnam. This is water buffalo. You can see here, and it's very famous in Vietnam to use this type of hat. And you can see this girl use this is the traditional dress, not the dress called áo dài from Vietnam. And this is the flower, very famous national flower, lotus. I don't know if I pronounce correctly, lotus. That's flower. And we have this place is very famous because we have a lot of sea and a mountain and many places. And this place is the mausoleum. Yeah, in inside this place, this is a place we have a leader of the Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh. You can see here, and yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Helene. Let's see. How about Rashmi? Rashmi. What do you have for us? Oh, two different ones. Go ahead, Rashmi.
Yes, thank you for giving me this opportunity. Yes, I'm born and brought up in India. So I have India on one side. And today, Jyothi has shared such a lot of information on India. I would like to share this is the temple, which is beautifully sculptured and it's made of stone. And as you can see, it's the carvings are so beautiful. It's in Gujarat, and that is the part of India. It's the Western India, the Western part of India that I come from. And for that, I have this prop. This is called dandiya. And we have during a festival, we play dandiya. So like, we use the stick and go round. Okay, it is not see. So like you will play with this stick and you can play that and that is dandiya. And I have also worn a dress that is it's a part of Indian culture, which is like little bit of embroidery second part, that's Tanzania, with a whole totally different. The nature and the warmth of the country is authentic. People are warm. Country has Mount Kilimanjaro. We have Serengeti Plains. You can see Twiga. Twiga is giraffe, is the national animal of Tanzania. And we love to welcome you. We have a beautiful Gorongoro crater. We have Zanzibar Island. And that's a beautiful country. You all should visit Tanzania. And India, of course, it's always evergreen. Thank you. So that's how my both the culture and I blend in them.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Rashmi. It's lovely to hear about your culture. Maybe I'll call just one more in the interest of time, and then we can continue after the chapter meeting. Let's see. How about our timer, Joyce? Yes, Joyce, let us hear from you.
Hi, and good evening, everyone from Kenya. So my picture behind us, it's about a dance and dressing. So Kenya stands out to have a vibrant mosaic of 40 diverse ethnic groups. So we are many with different languages, customs, and even cuisines, and also the traditional ceremonies. So I'll just hide it so you see how we are dressed when we are dancing. So we have different personalities. So we have some people dancing differently from different parts of the country. And then the dances are part of our cultural festivals, including musical festivals, which are done at the high school level, at primary school level. So all this just to ascertain where we are coming from. So we have Kikuyu dancers, we have Luo dancers, we have Kalenjin. So all of us, we are just dancing to our culture and celebrating our over 40 ethnic languages. Thank you for the opportunity. Back to you, Holmes.
Thank you so much, Joyce. Members and guests, it has been a wonderful experience for me listening to different cultures, many of which I'm not familiar with, despite being also one of the multicultural cities around the world. I'm from Singapore, where I hope everyone is appreciating from this, be it whether you're sharing about your own culture or receiving other people's culture, is that each and every culture exists there with histories, with stories, and with real human beings around for us to appreciate if the opportunity comes for us to do so. And I would say it's an opportunity, and even borrowing a word from our panel moderator earlier on, it's a privilege for us to be able to know, to be able to recognize, and to be able to study another person's culture. The different thinking behind, the different nuances behind, inherently enhances our own lives as we see our world from a different perspective. Hence, members and guests, coming back to Leadership Speak, this is a club that's focused on leadership. When you experience different cultures, when you experience different thinking, when you experience different ideas, how do you react? How do you respond? What is your first attitude towards this kind of differences? The challenge for each of us here, as much as we are celebrating, the challenge for each of us here is to have an open heart towards the differences that are around. With the internet technology that we have, which is rapidly growing information technology, I believe it is each and our responsibility. It's an obligation that as fellow leaders here, we appreciate the diversity around, we protect the diversity around, and we ensure that the diversity around continues to thrive as we find ways to lead our societies forward. Hence, we have this meeting. Hence, the hope as well as challenge for each of us here. That as we continue our lives in encountering diversity, where circumstances allow, as much as circumstances allow us to choose, we always choose to listen intently, to listen carefully, and to appreciate the diversity that is around us. With that, I'd like to hand back over to TMOD Lydiah to adjourn the meeting with her final comments and subsequently to continue the discussion with all of you in the post-meeting discussion. Lydiah, TMOD.
Thank you. Thank you very much, President Holmes. Indeed, we've had a fantastic meeting, and there's so much that we've taken from the meeting, starting from the panel members, the speakers, and even our guests. We have learned a lot, and let us all embrace diversity and be able to even be better leaders. Now that we know what maybe we didn't know, let us connect with each other as we embrace diversity. Now, fellow Toastmasters, we have come to the end of our meeting today, and I hope we have all had fun. We've learned a lot, and let me declare this meeting adjourned and request the Zoom master to stop the recording.